Digital and modern communications methods are a potent tool for promoting freedom of expression, access to information, and democracy. However, they are also potentially dangerous in undermining the right to privacy, which will in turn affect the right to access to information and ultimately the very democracies that we seek to build. The theme for this year's World Press Freedom Day celebrations is Journalism Under Digital Siege, a powerful theme considering the pressures that media workers face thanks to digital tools and spyware that is being deployed to undermine their craft. For journalists to function effectively and enhance our democracies, it is important for the right to privacy to be upheld. This is because journalists need to protect their sources of confidential information, and this can only happen when the right to privacy is upheld and respected as sacrosanct. Without privacy, confidential sources of information will not provide journalists with information, and in turn journalists will not shine the light in dark spots, and with that, democracies die. The theme for this year's World Press Freedom Day commemorations is particularly important as it comes against the backdrop of a number of Southern African states acquiring tools that allow them to snoop on their citizens. For instance, at least 3 Southern African countries, namely Botswana, Zambia, and Zimbabwe, are reported to have acquired software that allows them to surveil their citizens. In that same regard, countries in the region have at times resorted to internet shutdowns during protests or elections, and this does not bode well for freedom of expression and access to information. Furthermore, countries in the region are in the process of enacting or have recently enacted cybersecurity laws, with governments arguing that crimes have moved online and have become sophisticated, raising the need for such regulations. However, there is need to balance national security needs with fundamental rights such as the right to privacy and freedom of expression. It is incumbent on governments that have acquired surveillance tools to remain cognizant of their citizens' rights to privacy and the collection of data. Governments need to be transparent about what data they collect from their citizens and what they intend to do with the collected data. Principle 41 of the Declaration of Principles of Freedom of Expression and Access to Information in Africa provides that states shall not engage in or condone acts of discriminate and untargeted collection, storage, analysis, or sharing of a person's communications. In 2021, the World Press Freedom Day commemorations were held under the theme Information as a Public Good. We can borrow from the theme and say transparency in the collection of data is a public good. Without guarantees on privacy, journalism faces an existential crisis, as fewer confidential sources of information will be willing to come forward. In such circumstances, corruption and other vices will thrive, while the journalism profession will continue to shrink. Thus, this World Press Freedom Day commemorations provide a platform for policymakers, journalists, the judiciary and students, among others, to develop concrete solutions that balance the right to privacy and national security, while also ensuring that there is a policy of transparency in the collection of data. As part of our role as MISA Regional, in promoting an enabling environment for press freedom and journalistic safety, facilitating pluralism and participation in media, and supporting sustainable and independent media institutions. The Media Institute of Southern Africa produced the second edition of the State of Press Freedom in Southern Africa, 2020 to 2022. The second edition of the report paid particular attention to the theme journalism under surveillance, which is the theme of this year's World Press Freedom Day commemorations. In addition, journalism in Southern Africa continues to face a myriad of challenges which have been exacerbated by the COVID-19 pandemic. These challenges include viability and sustainability, the use of statutes to limit freedom of the media and of expression and attacks on journalists. In light of this, MISA, in partnership with UNESCO, undertook research that analyzes the state of press freedom in different countries in the region. This report that we are going to launch looks at the principal concerns of journalism in the target country, focusing mainly on the safety of journalists, freedom of expression, and the legal and political developments affecting the media freedom across the region. Attacks on journalists with reference to SDG 16.10 metadata and evaluations of the media environment vis-a-vis indicators 16.10.2, safety issues around the coverage of health pandemics such as COVID-19, issues pertaining to gender and the media with a particular focus on the sexual harassment of women journalists online and offline, and analysis of gender and impunity. Significant developments in law or restrictions controlling the media, and the control and censorship of digital spaces and internet shutdowns, among others. The risks and challenges encountered by journalists in small towns as well as community media practitioners and other citizen journalists. Issues relating to access to information by both private and public media. Summary schedule at the end of the report, consisting of all key data and stakeholders related, is there. Journalists and media outlets also under surveillance is also included. Importantly too, it looks at the growing trend of cyberbullying on female journalists. This report is an important tool for government, policymakers, journalists, the academia and media students to help them to advocate and secure for journalists in an environment for journalists to operate in. So, ladies and gentlemen, before I invite our guest of honor to help in launching this report, let me also emphasize that this is not conclusive. This is an ongoing research, and this is an important platform to help us to continue to look into key issues that may need further interventions. I am very excited by the composition of the people in this room. We have ministers who have taken their time to come and listen to our issues, to come and to spend this important time to hear our issues. So as you go through the report that we're about to launch, I would like to let you know that there is still room for us to develop more and also to find areas where we can collaborate and make our spaces safer for journalists online and offline. I am also happy that regulators, Zimbabwe Media Commission, in particular, other commissions here present, they are going to really look into these issues and see where we can collaborate and move forward as MISA, as government, journalists, and all interested stakeholders who are in this room. So this is the best composition ever to be in one room to deliberate on issues that affect journalists as we do our work during our time. We also want to thank our strategic partners, our guests of honor, who have helped us to develop, to do this research in almost, I think it's 10 countries in the region, to understand where we are today as we talk about state of press freedom in our countries. I would also like to take this opportunity to thank all the individuals that have participated in contributing, taking up their time to research, to bring up information. I know research sometimes is very difficult to extract data, but they've done their part. They took their time to do this and managed to come up with this report. We may not agree entirely in terms of what has been written, but like what I've said as I started, that this is the platform where we are starting from. Let's continue to engage. Let this report be the departing point as we move and try to come up with the region that we want all to live in, with journalists being safer online and offline. Ladies and gentlemen, with these few remarks, may I invite our guest of honor, Ambassador Salah Ahmad, to come forward, and probably also our Deputy Minister of Information to come here up front as we launch our report. I'm not sure how we are going to do it, but I will ask her.
Let me hold them, and then His Excellency will be the one to carry this together.
You are the guest. This report not attacking us.
That's the strategy. Let's clap hands as the report is being launched.
The report. It's the report.
I think
we can also invite, to come in front, Ngaba, if you have the reports so that they can join us. Those in the high table, you can come up front. Deputy Minister. Deputy Minister. Probably attacking us.
Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to really congratulate MISA for this report. And of course, the report, as we all know, has been done with the support of UNESCO. And I hope, as an African Union staff representing the African Union, that this report will also be developed for other parts of Africa. And through this process and this launching of this report, I wish to call on other similar organizations to MISA in other African regions, and UNESCO, of course, to undertake similar exercise. So then we could really together and collectively come to realize that Africa is doing very well despite the challenges. And once the challenges are identified, there will also be the political will from our leaders to address them and to solve them. Of course, we cannot come today to this celebration and say that the situation is rosy and the situation is really fine and well in all parts of Africa. But certainly the challenges that we are currently facing could be undercome and addressed. And the presence of the deputy ministers, both of them, during this launch, is a clear confirmation and proof that the African leaders are committed to the promotion and protection of human and people's rights, as well as the protection and safety of journalists. And there is nothing better proof than the fact that the two deputy ministers launched this report even without reading what is the content of the report. So that is because they trust you, they trust MISA, and that is because they are very supportive of the mandate of you as the stakeholders promoting the safety of journalism. Once again, on behalf of the African Union Commission, we are quite honored to be part of this process, and certainly in my report to the leadership of the African Union, I will speak about this great story, one of my stories to take back from Zimbabwe. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Let's clap hands as I take their seats.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let me at this moment invite regional UNESCO Dr. Lydia Bruto. Can you come up for what? Something special that she wants to announce. Can go.
Thank you very much. Well, more than anything to say that the ambassador, dear deputy ministers, dear colleagues from the media, and chairperson, regional chairperson of MISA, we are doing similar reports also in other regions of our continent, and we want to have a continental report. And if I'm not wrong, we are also launching right away this one in Arusha, no? Yes. So we do listen to you, Ambassador, that this tool is very important for the countries, for the continent. And again, congratulations to MISA, because you did start it, and now you are inspiring other regions in our continent to really have this kind of reports, and allowing us, UNESCO, to have an African report. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I think this is a good story to take home, like what Ambassador Salah has said. We are on this is a confirmation that we are on the right direction, and this should be continuous work. I would like to really thank you all for this and for the support.